Today's story is called The DeFeo Family from Amityville Horror. It was a night in 1974 when a mass murder of the DeFeo family occurred. The family members were the father, Ronald DeFeo, Sr., mother, Louise DeFeo, and four of the five children, Dawn, Allison, Mark, and John, were all shot to death in their home on November 13th, 1974. It was in Amityville, New York. The killings were reported to be done by the oldest son, Ronald DeFeo Jr. So the story goes like this. The DeFeo family was originally from Brooklyn, New York. Ronald DeFeo Sr. worked as a service manager at his wife's family's dealership. The father was known to be verbally and physically abusive towards his wife and children. Ronald DeFeo's nickname was Butch. The father's main target was his oldest son, Butch DeFeo. It was said that people were afraid to go to the house because of the father's rage. It was reported that witnesses seen the father hit the mother and Butch DeFeo on a number of occasions. It was known as the Crazy House. As Butch got older, his temper got even worse than his father's. Butch and his father often got into physical altercations. Due to Butch's behavior, he got kicked out of school at the age of 17 from Amityville High School. At the age of 18, Butch DeFeo started working for his father and was given a weekly paycheck, whether he showed up for work or not. Now, Butch worked in the service department, doing oil changes, but the arguments between his father still remained. One day, the father gave Butch $20,000 to put it in the bank. As Butch returned home, he told his father that he got robbed and the money was stolen. Now, the father didn't believe him, and they began to fight. As they fought, Butch pulled out a gun and pointed at his father and said, "One day I'm going to kill you." At the age of 23, Butch still worked with his father. At the same time, he was put on probation. He pled guilty for stealing a boat motor. After all that, his father still let him work at the dealership because Butch needed pay stubs to show his probation officer. He needed proof that he was still working. On November 13th, Butch DeFeo left work early and met up with his girlfriend and his best friend at a nearby restaurant. Butch complained to both of them that he couldn't get a hold of his family members. He said the cars were still in the driveway and no one would answer the phone. Now at 6 p.m., he tried to call his home again in front of his girlfriend, but still no answer. By this time, Butch DeFeo was kicked out of the house and had no keys to get in. Butch told his girlfriend he's going to break into the house through a window. At 6:30 p.m., he returned to his girlfriend and said all his family members were dead. So Butch and his girlfriend and his other friend went to the house and called the police. As the police entered the house, they noticed all the family members were shot dead. After a long investigation, Butch DeFeo was interrogated and finally confessed to the murders. He said he was hearing voices in his head that said, "You must kill them all." There are many versions on how it happened and why. Whatever happened that night still remains a mystery. Butch DeFeo took the truth to his grave. He died March 12th, 2021. And what happened in that house that night inspired the movie Amityville Horror.